Square and Compass podcast, 1 a.m. live stream. Please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear them. I had an excellent evening with the Canadian Blood Services. Thank you very much to them for inviting me to what was an awesome celebration, an awesome networking event. I am organizing, as many people know, I'm organizing the Community Services Fair, March 28th, 2026, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We're going to be talking all about different community services in Windsor, Essex. They're going to have displays set up with tables, booths. You can go around as a member of the public and talk to them about the services they provide. It's going to be a blast. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Windsor Masonic Temple. March 28th, 2026. I hope to see you guys there. If you live in Windsor, Essex County, wherever it might be. For the time being, though, we're just going to wait to see who joins. And please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having an excellent, excellent day. Good. I hope that it was wonderful advice. Thank you for being here, Courtney. Always listen to your mentorship, and always remember that your mentorship doesn't. Always remember that your mentorship doesn't stop at any point, right? There's always, if you're a mentor and you bring somebody in, even after they're the worshipful master, after they're master mason, they are still technically your mentee, your sponsor, responsee, whatever it might be. You should still be working with them, and vice versa. Remember to pay that forward. As you grow within the craft, you will become a mentor for other people. You have a responsibility to work with them as well. Hello, Tennessee Freemason. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. It's going well. It's great to be here. Thank you for joining me. We're going to give it a bit of time. We'll wait to see who joins. Please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for being here. We're just going to hang out, wait to see who joins. Consider a super chat. I'm going to be doing some streams tomorrow, but don't forget, this is going to be a shorter stream weekend because Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to be taking part in the Medium pub crawl, where I produce content about Freemasonry on Medium via written content. Looking forward to learning more about Medium, how it works, and how to improve my written content so it gets out to more people. Hello, Gooey. Good to see you. Final thoughts haven't changed. I still enjoy Scream 7. I think it's the weakest of the Scream series, but I still enjoy it very much. I don't think there is a bad, right? There's no bad Scream movie. Even Scream 7, which I would say is my least favorite, I still really enjoyed. Didn't enjoy it as much as like I said, the others. My favorite Scream movie is Scream 4, but I thought Scream 7 was decent. I thought the ending was the biggest letdown for it. Complex? Well, first of all, my opinion is hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You understand this channel talks about Freemasonry. Every Freemason will have his or her own opinion on the war in Iran. Some will be for it, some will be against it. Most will have some view in the middle. Freemasonry is not a political organization. I can give you my personal opinion, which I wish it had never happened. I'm scared for the Masons who are finding themselves in harm's way in Israel and Jordan on military bases. I'm scared for everybody who finds himself in harm's way. And I hope that it absolutely ends as soon as possible. Even for those who are part of the Grand Lodge of Iran in exile, which currently meets in Los Angeles, I'm still hoping they have family there, they have friends, they may still live there and just travel back and forth, whatever it might be. My thoughts are with them as well and their families and everybody. I don't want to see anybody hurt, so... you enjoyed. Well, I've been talking about the price of oil. It is up 50 cents since February 28th. And I am absolutely hoping to, I love to travel. I consider myself a professional traveler. I consider myself a Masonic traveler. Seeing the cost of oil go up is very frightening when it comes to the possibility or the danger of what that could mean for the ability to travel. Tickets are going to get more expensive, whether it be bus tickets, plane tickets, train tickets, or anything in between. Um, the price of oil, Timothy, is going up. Like I said, 50 cents. So you're not wrong. Please, once again, if you're just joining us, take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for being here. Uh, Web, I don't know what you're talking about. Please like and subscribe. I don't know what you mean by powerful. I mean, not in any traditional sense, Grace. We don't have political power. We don't have financial power. We don't have business power. That's not what Freemasonry is about. However, I do think within any time you have a group organization that focuses on and supports brotherly love, I think that's a good thing and demonstrates a level of power, at least power over oneself and the ability to be better. I have no legs. And I cannot travel on foot. I have no legs. I got to rely on my wheelchair. Um, Astra Nap. I hope you'll know what the like and subscribe button is, and hit like and subscribe. Well, the conspiracy theories are full of nonsense. Freemasonry is a civic organization, a civic institution that's been around for 300 years. If your great grandfather is a Freemason, it means he's a brother of mine, even though I'm assuming with great grandfather he's passed away. He would still be my brother. So think of it like a worldwide fraternity, worldwide club that has existed for about 300 years, 300 to 400 years. I mean, you can form your own, Timothy. I'm sure a lot of places are going to start running out of fuel. Time for judgment. You can form, your own group if you want. However, your own organization. The question is whether Freemasonry would want to partner with it. I'm not even sure what that would look like precisely. You can't just open a lodge either, Hank Hill. There's a process that goes into it. Otherwise, if you don't follow the process, you would open what would be known as a clandestine lodge. So you need to keep that in mind. So Bilbo Baggins, Freemasonry was not Luciferian at the end of the day. It's also not Luciferian at the start of the day. It's not Luciferian at any point of the day. The Freemason Bible is the King James version of the Bible with some added, or with some illustrations, usually on King Solomon's temple, because Solomon's a figure within Freemasonry, and usually a square and compasses on the front, and usually a place to sign. So that's what it is. You can open a lodge known as hotel. That is true. You can open, if you would so desire, you can open a lodging home, but it's not the same thing as starting a Masonic lodge. Grace, so please hit like and subscribe. Yeshu, many people believe that, are Christians and are Christians within Freemasonry. We have men of all different and women of all different faiths, beliefs, backgrounds. The beautiful thing about Freemasonry is it welcomes men of all different beliefs. That's, I think, is the greatest thing about it. Hello from Germany. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for being here. Please hit like and subscribe. Hiram Abiff is an important figure within Freemasonry, almost certainly a legendary figure and not a real figure or not a historical figure. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you have any more questions. Or, if you want to check out more of the channel. There's, he's more than likely apocryphal, right? He's an apocryphal figure. Freemasonry is not from Satan. Yeshu. Freemasonry is from stone Masonic guilds in the Middle Ages, 15th, 16th, 17th centuries. Hello, Uncle Cracker. How many secret handshakes are there? Between 0 and 50. The Bible told us, Freemasonry did not exist until at the earliest 1634, more likely 1717. So I'm not sure how the Bible could tell you something is from the devil when the Bible was written, Freemasonry did not yet exist. Um, Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, Grace. You have to join to find out for sure. Well, Freemasonry is not a cult unless you want to define cult very kind of in a most mundane manner as being or concerning things that are hidden. Freemasonry has private or hidden information. You learn it when you become a Freemason. It's a way to bond the brotherhood. I have no idea, um, Pistol, if the Book of Enoch is real. I'm not a religious expert. To my knowledge, the Book of Enoch was in contention to be part of the Bible, but for whatever reason, it was decided not to be. But I'm the wrong person to ask about anything religious. Freemasonry is not a religion, nor is it theological. Donald Trump is almost certainly not a Freemason. There's no evidence that he is. Um, English with Janelle. Well, first of all, English, please hit like and subscribe. I mean, what's your podcast about? I've never heard of it before, but let me see. Kind of curious. I'm going to go to your channel. I don't mind appearing on people's podcasts. I mean, if you want to get in touch with me, info@squareandcompass.ca. Info@squareandcompass.ca. Oh, interesting. Augment your English with horror movies. I love scary movies. One of my favorite things in the world. So now I definitely want to be on your podcast to talk about scary movies. Um, Once again, info@squareandcompass.ca. All one word. Um, well, Bilbo, I don't think I'm in a relationship with you. I don't know you. I think secrets can be a great way, or private information can be a great way to bond family, friends, for example. If you have a secret family recipe that bonds past, present, and future generations of the family together. English with Janelle. All right, I'm going to put it down here. It's info@squareandcompass.ca. That's what you want to send. Or find me at squareandcompass.ca. Type that in to Google and go to contact page. We do not control the world. I think you mean Freemasons. Freemasons do not control the world. Freemasons are not interested in controlling the world. That's not what Freemasonry is about. What's wrong with having a giant head? It's because my brain is so big. At least that's what I'm going to tell you. Interesting, by the way. It seems like you're doing very well. English with Janelle, an English tutor. What would be the conversation we would have? Hello, Luke. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Yes, I got a big 4 head or even a big 5 head. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. It's huge. It's huge. I don't like to brag or nothing, but it's a giant head. The Fraternal Order of Shoemakers, Crow's Milk. Please hit like and subscribe. Any thoughts on Freemasonry? No, we're not controlling the world. It's not about controlling the world. Freemasonry is nothing to do with a desire to control the world, quote unquote. What about the Jesuits? Yes, I agree. Shout out Freemasonry. Been a Freemason for 20 years, basically. Joined in 2007. Travel around. I've been to over 1,000 Masonic events all around the world. I consider myself very lucky to be a Freemason. It can be challenging at times, but the challenge is part of the beauty of it, and I love talking about it. The whole point of this channel is to turn my passion for Freemasonry into profession by producing content that promotes the ways Freemasonry was and is relevant to the communities in which it's located and stories of Masonic interest. So Jesuits and Freemasons are not the same thing, and Ride Dave, Freemasonry does not worship or concerned with false lights. I think you're referring to Albert Pike, but you just misunderstand him. Well, Freemason is not a religion, though, and we don't want a unified religion. We respect the right of every individual to believe what he so chooses to believe based on his or her religious beliefs. You can be Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Sikh, and join Freemasonry. Freemasonry is not a religion. Gardeners, crow's milk. Gardeners did for sure. I mean, police did as well. I think firemen did also. Soldiers, certainly, through the Legion. Sorry, Johnny Walker. Freemasonry is not a religion, nor is it an accursed effing religion. And my founder of Freemasons as well. I'm not living any curses. Maybe you're not living a curse. Maybe you're just making bad decisions and blaming a curse. I believe in the sun. Michael Gambetti, I hope you also believe in hitting the like and subscribe button. Well, Freemasonry doesn't have a god, damn and fall guy. There is no Masonic god, nor is there a Masonic devil. The term great architect or supreme being is a stand-in for whatever you believe. So if I'm sitting next to a Muslim and a Christian and a Jewish Mason, and they hear the term great architect or supreme being, each one will have a different understanding of what that word means. Yeah, Nima, that's not a bad way to look at it, with the understanding, Nima, that Freemasonry, you'll never be perfect, right? You will never, ever be perfect. And that's something you need to remember also, right? But we do try to make ourselves better. And hopefully in doing so, we can make our communities better as well. We don't do secret stuff at the Legion. I mean, many groups have private ceremonies or members exclusive. I don't think Freemasonry is unique in that. Oddfellows, Elks. So there you go. No, Damon, the god is not Lucifer. Freemasonry does not worship any god, and that includes does not worship Lucifer. Okay, well, thank you, English, but I hope that you will also follow me on this channel, hit like and subscribe, and I hope that you will contact me by email. That's a much better way to do it. The truth, Bud Morgan, is we don't know. We do know William Morgan had a lot of debts and was actually escaped from a debtor's prison before he disappeared, and his body was never found. It could have very well been that the Freemasons of the time became stupid and dumb and murdered him. It could have been that he owed a lot of money to a lot of people, and they got tired of waiting to collect. Certainly, there's no question that the Masons were quite upset with him, though in 2026, if there's another William Morgan, nobody would care. At this point, the secrets of Masonry have been exposed so many times. There is no royal secret. There's modes of recognition, and modes of recognition, I don't share those. You gotta join Freemasonry. I don't even know what that means, Masonry. I mean, Freemasonry derived from stone Masonic guilds in the Middle Ages. And if you want to argue that those stone Masonic guilds were reliant on African stonemasons, I mean, it's certainly possible. Stonemasonry evolved from or started in Africa with the formation of stone tools. Well, you can't speak of Freemasonry as a whole, Nima, because Freemasonry is decentralized. There is no single Masonic governing body. There is no single Masonic ritual. There is no single understanding of what Freemasonry is. What I can do is give my experiences and my understanding and my perspectives on it, again, with the goal of turning my passion for Freemasonry into a profession. Well, I think what you've studied is baloney, right, Dave? And I also think you probably don't have the intelligence to know what you've studied. And that's not to say you don't have the intelligence in general. What I'm saying is if you don't have the experience, it's the same way I think I'm a smart person, but if you tell me to fix a car, I'm going to seem very stupid because I don't know how. And I don't even have the intelligence to study it necessarily without a guided mechanic to teach me what I'm studying. You're the same way. You think you know, but unless you've been a Freemason, you've been active in it, and not in a clandestine, but in a legitimate lodge, you don't know what you're studying and you don't know how to interpret it. He's only 18th degree as well, been in it 20 years. Well, how many degrees are you, CBA? Well, lodges are local, right? They don't have a global jurisdiction. The jurisdiction within Freemasonry is usually state by state, province by province. In Europe, it can't be more country by country. Well, Right? You don't have to be on my side. I'm not really sure what that means. I don't consider myself having a side other than wanting to make the world a better place. I can do more than a single push up. I can do 30 push ups. Freemasonry teaches nothing about Lucifer, real Sir Puffington. I think you've been reading way too much Albert Pike and misunderstanding what he's saying. Albert Pike wrote about Scottish Rite, which is a branch of Freemasonry. It's not Freemasonry itself, it's a branch. And he was giving his own opinions on Freemasonry, combined with his own religious and theological opinions. He was not speaking for Freemasonry. I've never once heard of Lucifer brought up in any Masonic rituals or ceremonies I've been to, and I've been to a lot of them. Um, well, CBA, maybe they have good reason to call the cops, and I would suggest you start to reconsider your behavior if they're calling the cops on you. Um, and no, Freemasonry has no interest in starting any wars. In fact, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we end the wars as soon as possible. Not we as in Freemasons. We don't get the chance to. It's not up to us, but the politicians. I have one cat, and I love my cat named Bandit. I am in Scottish Rite, but I hope to join York Rite at some point. You say I'm an idiot, Dirk, so why would I keep you on the stream? No, I don't want to destroy Islam. I think Islam is a wonderful faith. I know many Islamic Muslim brothers. They're great people. They're great parts of the craft, and I'm grateful to call them my brother. You're welcome, Wear a Mask. Right now, holding Freemasonry at a glance, 1967. Good for you, Damon. Do you consider yourself? I consider myself someone who, like you, hit the like and subscribe button. Um, okay, welcome. If you're under 18, make sure you have your parents' permission to be on channel. Although 17, I doubt you'll ask. You still should. Thank you for being here. I hope you hit the like and subscribe button. I would be grateful. No, just about Freemasonry. And these streams, I don't have any specific topics. I just chat about, whatever. He was a big deal in Freemasonry, but he's not the biggest deal, nor does he have any authority over what other Masons think about it, nor is he particularly relevant to York, right? I mean, I guess he could be relevant a little bit, but he's not particularly relevant to York Rite. He's not particularly relevant to Shrine, to Demolay, to Eastern Star, to the craft, I suppose, to Craft Lodge, but it's questionable. Yes, I do agree. Freemasonry promotes community, promotes tolerance, promotes kindness, if it's done right and done appropriately. I don't know what that means, wear a mask. No, I mean, Freemasonry is pretty open about what it is and where it meets and what it does. I mean, if it's moving from one lodge building to another, it may move any, like, pictures it has with it, that type of thing. I have no idea, Drick. You're asking me theological questions, which I am not the best person to answer because I'm not a theologian. So what will bring about or not bring about the end times, I don't know. And what you want to do to prepare for the end times, I don't know either. Yogi MC Flow. I am not afraid of Islam, nor am I Satanist. But I've known many Islamic brothers. Like I said, they're part of the craft. I'm grateful for them. I have no idea, but George Washington was a Freemason. I like turtles as well, Louis. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Right now, the Constitutional Statutes of Eureka Grand Chapter Order of Eastern Star, State of New York. Okay, so Damon, what does that mean for me as a Freemason in Ontario? What does any of those things have to do with me or with my Masonic journey? So for African Americans or Black people, they do have what's called Prince Hall Freemasonry, although now there are many white members. Prince Hall Freemasonry was started actually a couple days ago, March 8th in 1776, which is when Prince Hall first joined a British lodge. But basically, it was started for Masons or Black men who wanted to join Freemasonry, but were experiencing discrimination in America. And it was traditionally known as like the African American or the Black Lodge. However, certainly since I've joined and for the past, decades, centuries, really. Freemasons have welcomed men of all different faiths, religions, backgrounds, ethnicities. You can be in lodge with the black, white, Asian, Indian, whatever it might be. I think that's one of its greatest strengths is that it teaches you to look beyond narrow limits, including those of race, religion, ethnicity. Um, we're getting weird about Muslims in this stream. Again, I know many Muslim brothers, wonderful parts of the fraternity, good friends as well. I will not be drafted, pollster, because I'm from Canada. I don't see the draft coming back here anytime soon. I've also got no legs, but I guess what I'd say is I'm very much hoping that whatever's happening in the Middle East ends as soon as possible and there's no draft. I got a big nose, Baltimore. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. To everybody watching this, please hit the like and subscribe button. I like the Knights of Columbus. They're good people, good group. They're a wonderful part of our civic institutions. We'll see, pollster. We will see, I suppose. But I think whatever happens as the world gets more scary, I think we as Freemasons need to remember ultimately that we have the ability in our day-to-day lives to make the world a better place. And we should focus on that. Freemasonry is not magic. So keep that in mind. Freemasonry is not magical. We're not levitating. Unless you want to count it as like emotional magic because it makes you feel better. Hello, Rodrigo. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. We're just hanging out, chatting about Freemasonry. No specific topics, just anything you guys want to discuss. Positive, negative, neutral. I'd love to hear it, but I do hope you will hit the like button and the subscribe button. And we're going to give it a bit of time and see who joins. Please consider also doing a super chat. I am Devin. I've been a Freemason for just about 20 years. The purpose of this channel is to talk about Freemasonry, to show my passion for Freemasonry profession by talking about the ways I love Freemasonry and producing content about the ways it was and is relevant to the communities in which it's located. Thank you, Brother Courtney. Yes, although similar things. Now, not everything is the same, but keep in mind the rituals aren't even the same for the male lodges between, say, Michigan and Ohio. They change. But they are part of the craft, whether it be Eastern Star, Order of Women Freemasons, whatever it might be. So, and I'm grateful for them to be part of the family as well. No, David, Freemasonry does not entail demonic rituals. There are ceremonies and rituals, but ultimately what Freemasonry entails at its core is the belief that it is worth spending time with other people, right? I mean, it has a beautiful history to it, a beautiful rituals to it, brotherly love, charity. But at its core, it really is focused on and about the desire and the belief that it's worth spending time with other people, including spending time with other people that maybe you would normally not spend time with, that you would be strangers or would be at a perpetual distance, per Anderson. I have no idea if conscientious can time travel. Some of the founding fathers were Freemasons, Eric. 13, I think, if I recall correctly, of the 39 signers of the Declaration were Freemasons. There are a lot of fezzes in the shrine. So in a nutshell, what do we do? Well, we have two types of meetings. We have administrative meetings and we have ritual or ceremonial meetings. The administrative meetings are about maintaining the craft. So all of the paper that goes into it. The ceremonial meetings are about other people joining the craft and joining the club. What do you do on a guy's night out? What do you do in a clubhouse? What do you do when you're hanging out with your friends? Think about that, only very much more formalized. And as always, please hit like, please hit subscribe. No, 32nd degree Freemasons are not devil worshippers. No Freemason I mean, maybe there's a Satanist Freemason. I've never met one. I don't think there could be. But I suppose anything is possible theoretically. Freemasonry, though, has no devils. It has no gods. It's not a religious organization. It's a civic group. Every Mason will have his own supreme being or her own. Could be Jesus, could be Allah, could be the creator, could be, Yahweh. It could be a variety of different beliefs. Hindu, Sikh, Freemasonry welcomes them all. I mean, Freemasons are not in politics. In terms of Freemasons are making the world better, that's my opinion. I've always said that the fundamental belief in Freemasonry is the belief that the world can be made better through the application of brotherly love, relief, and truth. For a lot of people, though, they have different views. Some will say to make good men better. Uh, that's the beautiful thing about Freemasonry. People need to decide for themselves. As a general rule, no, Bud Morgan, you do not get a sword or helmet, although there are instances where, in certain degrees, especially for ceremonial purposes, they'll give you a sword because you're meant to portray a character from history. If you want to learn the specifics, you got to join. No, we're not part of the Illuminati. Illuminati started much later than Freemasonry, and to my understanding, it really doesn't exist anymore in any meaningful way. Lots of politicians and presidents are Freemasons. Define lots. 187, maybe join Freemasonry. Lots of politicians. Define lots. Some, I would not say lots. I mean, 15 of the last 45 presidents of the United States were Freemasons. I guess if you define that as a lot, then there you go. And whether or not Joe Biden was a Freemason or not is highly questionable. In Canada, it's like 6. Johnny MacDonald, Diefenbaker, a couple of the very short-term prime ministers that were appointed by the Governor General. Again, if you define that as a lot, right? Well, I mean, when you think about it, you need to keep in mind it makes sense that people who are Freemasons would be more interested in taking on civic service because a lot of what Freemasonry encourages from an ethical standpoint is community service and building both, at least metaphorically, building a better world. So part of that, or building a better community, means you're more likely to become a politician. Also, some of the skills that you develop in Freemasonry, conflict resolution, ability to run and administer a meeting successfully with motions and Robert's Rules of Order, public speaking to a certain extent, memorization, all that stuff comes in handy in political circles. I do not. I've never got a free hotel, a flight, or car rental discount as a Freemason, but sometimes when I'm traveling, my Masonic brothers will allow me to stay at their place, stay on their couch, or stay in their house so I don't have to spend money on a hotel. Thank you, Jason, for the thumbs up. Thank you, Damon, for subscribing. How do you feel with the Supreme Court being filled with Jesuits? I don't know that the Supreme Court is filled with Jesuits. I'd have to learn more about that, but I don't think it is. Well, first person, if that's how you feel, then most to all of those presidents since JFK were not Freemasons. I mean, Gerald Ford was a Freemason. LBJ was a Freemason. And that's the last one, Gerald Ford. Maybe Joe Biden was a Freemason, though it's highly debatable whether you consider him one or not. He was not made a Freemason, if he was, until the very last day of his time in office. So, and it was done on site, which is always questionable. 187. All right, fair enough. I think everybody should help in the community if they can, whether you're Sikh, Hindu, whatever it might be, right? I think Freemasonry just kind of gives you some ethical guidelines by which you can be encouraged to help in the community. So that would be my view on that, for whatever it's worth. Please take a moment, hit that like button and subscribe button if you're new. I do these streams twice daily, 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also had an excellent visit today at the Canadian Blood Services new donor center It was wonderful to be there. It's an awesome place. I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow. If you get the chance, donate blood. It's an incredibly valuable thing to do to help the community. No, no, I've never seen anybody bow to a superior. Um, I mean, not that necessarily there's anything inherently like if the person is deserving of it. Like, for example, if I met the king, I would probably bow, but that's not a thing in Freemasonry. Um, I would love to get free Mets tickets, but I've never got them yet. If anyone wants to give me free Met tickets, by all means, please let me know and I will be very appreciative. Or just give me a super chat, just 99 cents to help me out, and I will. You look like Matt Damon? I'll take it. Thank you so much. Most people say I look ugly, so I will gladly take the idea that I look like Matt Damon. Because most people, unless you think Matt Damon's ugly, but I've grown to learn that most people um, are nice enough to call me ugly on this stream. So that's very nice of you to say I look like Matt Damon. I mean, I know that O positive is always considered very popular. I'm a blood donor myself. I'm also potentially might be an organ donor. It's soon a living organ donor, but I think again it's another meaningful way that you can impact your community in a positive sense and a positive way by donating blood. They talked about today we had 3 people talk when I went to the event. They talked about the value of receiving plasma, and blood, what they needed it for, how it saved their lives. It was really cool. So sorry, bud. No. And by the way, if anybody's joining Freemasonry with the purpose of trying to get benefits, like trying to get, for example, cheaper hotels or whatever it might be, you're going to be very disappointed. That is not what Freemasonry is about, and that's not the purpose. You're not going to get like discounts at your local McDonald's, for example. So, I mean, first person, I'm not one who has ever really bought conspiracy theories, even about that. I'm sure that there is information that's compartmentalized, but I also believe if the president asks for it, he's going to get it. So, at least that would be my assumption. 0, bud, none. You don't drink blood at the meetings? I will not join any organization if one of the requirements was I drink blood. That's for sure. Well, I mean, that's great. I mean, I would say, again, it doesn't strike me as impossible that presidents will know everything because there's so much in the government that how could you know it all, right? You're managing a country of 300 and something million people, 350 million approximately, with who knows how many government employees, several hundred thousand, I would think, $1 trillion, trillions of dollars in budget. It's impossible for any one person to know everything. So he has to delegate and rely on those people to tell him what he needs to know. Um, 9 letters, Matt Damon. I mean, Matt Damon is a handsome fella, and it's a lot better than the fact that people always say I'm really ugly. So I appreciate you guys calling me handsome because Matt Damon's a handsome fella. At least I choose to believe he is a handsome fella. As always, please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. We do these streams for about 1 hour, but it will be back on tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, I guess today technically, talking about blood donations. No, Freemasons do not have any connections in the chapters of the prison system. Now, if you're a Freemason and you commit a crime, you should probably be suspended, and I would suggest you be suspended. Um, do Freemasons follow any celestial? I mean, I don't know. When you say follow, do you mean celebrate? Because in different places they do. I mean, astronomy is a liberal art and science, and it is considered important to Freemasonry. I've actually done a couple of podcast episodes talking about and supporting science and studying of the stars, including NASA scientists. And actually, there was a lodge in Bogota, Colombia, that did a really awesome and a really cool winter's solstice celebration, which I thought was awesome. Thank you. I like this shirt. Oof, that sucks, Jason. I'm sorry about that. Falling sucks. Having your blood mishandled sucks as well. So I have never drank human blood from anything. I've never drank blood from a human skull. I've never been interested in gaining power or riches through Freemasonry, and Freemasonry does not have generational curses. It's more than likely that the lady you saw, or the woman you saw, get delivered from the spirit of Freemasonry was actually just a crazy lady, or somebody who made a lot of bad mistakes in her life and was blaming a generational curse. Um, Shelby, I'm not a huge fan of that, but okay. And I mean, don't get me wrong, first person, you should not be donating blood if it would not be medically safe for you to do so. You have to listen to the doctors, and you're a doctor in particular, right? You fill out a form, you get tested, but it still is, if you can also support them financially through donations. There's a lot of different ways you can support um, your blood donors, even if not through actually donating blood. You can support them by donating so they can purchase snacks and all the other things that they need for the donors. There are women Masons, Shelby Woods. There are many women Masons. There's the Order of Women Freemasonry. There's Eastern Star. There's even Rainbow. So there are many examples of women Freemasonry. I just talked about that on my podcast or on my channel. I asked the question, and you can go back and answer it. True or false? Freemasonry is an exclusively male organization in which women take no part. 13 answers so far. I asked the question also about Eastern Star. 2 answers, and we got to get more up than that one. We throw pizza parties, sure, not necessarily just for birthdays, but if we have a meeting and it's the same night and the same day as a brother is having a birthday, we might get him a cake or something special. I like Christians, Shelby. I respect people of all different faiths and beliefs. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Sikh. It's possible to like more than one religious affiliation or more than one person with a different religious affiliation, I suppose I should say. Um, yeah, I don't think he is that smart myself, but that's just my humble opinion. Um, oh, well, I don't know what that refers to. Well, I mean, I've heard the rumors about Pizzagate. Wasn't it this crazy idea about Hillary Clinton in the basement of a pizza joint? I don't know. Um, but I'll answer it seriously. Yes, Freemasons will throw, like if you have a lodge meeting and there's a birthday, I would usually try to order a cake or get something special. If I was a junior warden, sometimes we'll order pizza for meals. Sometimes it depends how good the cook is, honestly, that you've got. If you've got a good junior warden who knows how to cook, you can get something really great. Honestly, it's mostly soups, stews, things like that, because those are easy to make. They keep on a crock pot, and you can get a lot of bang for your buck. Um, Hello, Mr. Keeps. What are you doing up? It's 1:47 for you as well. Um, Well, thank you, Fixed Design. Please hit like and subscribe. I love hot dogs, first person. And I know I feel like that's going to be some type of weird thing online. Hot dogs always make me think of summer. And also, they are a great value. Little tip for people if you don't have a lot of money and you're trying to save up, going to 7-Eleven, getting a hot dog, it's relatively cheap, but then you can load it with all of the toppings. And with all of those toppings loaded, you get a lot of calories for not a ton of money. All right, well, then I appreciate you being here, although we are going to be ending this stream soon. Well, there you go, Jason. No, I do not eat my hot dogs whole. Um, oh, for heaven's sakes, why must I deal with conspiracy? What did I ever do to deserve this? Um, just here trying to live my life, turn my passion for Freemasonry into a profession by talking about all the ways I love Freemasonry. I'm creating content about the ways Freemasonry was and is relevant to the communities which is located. I mean, usually my 2 a.m. streams, or I'm sorry, my 1 a.m. streams are an hour, and my 1 p.m. streams are usually about 3 hours, between 2 and 3. Today was 2.5 because I went to the networking event at the Windsor Donor Center. We learned more about the value of giving blood, giving plasma, how it works. They are going to be present. Canadian Blood Services is going to be present at our Community Services Fair, March 28th, 2026, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I hope you guys will join. What's the hot dog spot? I'm not in New York, but I love hot dogs, and maybe I'll get back to New York at some point. I was there once. I'd like to go back, though. Great Grand Lodge, a great Masonic history in New York. It's absolutely incredible. God is good, Jesus is Lord. There are many Christian Freemasons who would agree with that, absolutely. I don't know what Blackwater is. Wasn't that the oil rig? But I definitely was not involved in Blackwater. I have no legs. I don't see myself getting involved in such things, but okay. I've not read through the files. What I have done, or at least in detail, what I did is, and I talked about this before, I did a search of when Freemasonry is referenced in the files. And in the context, it's always historical or primarily historical. You can check my previous video about that. So there you go. No, Freemasons of the higher degrees. I've known many Freemasons of the higher degrees. Some of them were actually priests who did not hate Jesus. They were actually Christians and very dedicated Christians as well. Um, 187. How about you join Freemasonry if you want to learn more? Masons, time is short. Reckoning time is nigh for these ones. I mean, I don't think any time is short. Go vegan. I don't think I could. I love seafood too much, right? I love seafood too much, and I don't think I could give up seafood. So, I mean, and also I do really like steak. So I think those are two things I don't think I'd be able to give up. Um, Okay, well then don't join 187. By all means, no. I mean, there are many different ways to improve oneself, make the world a better place, find brotherhood, find passion, not passion, find brotherhood, find ethical lessons. Whatever works best for you, that is what you should do. And if not Freemasonry, maybe you want to go more of the religious route, which is fine, and join a religion or be part of a religious congregation. Maybe you prefer sports, maybe music, whatever works for you and whatever you find. I just hope you find a civic community. Well, you can't just join, but you can apply to join. There's a process. The first step is you need to approach the Masonic Lodge, express your interest in joining, and go from there. There you go, Jason. No, I don't just seafood and eat it, but I love seafood. To me, the best type of food, with zero doubt, is seafood. Raw oysters. I love raw oysters. Timothy, but it'd be worth it because they're so good. Striker, thank you for liking. I truly appreciate that. 4937, welcome. Please hit like and subscribe. I would appreciate it very much. Also, when you guys see my other videos, please leave a comment. Leaving comments helps big time. What the Bomboclat? This is me talking about Freemasonry. Hit the like button and the subscribe button. Would be much obliged. Awesome. Oddfellows is a wonderful organization and a wonderful civic institution. No, we do not. But Morgan, I'm going to say this again. Freemasons are not involved in organized crime. We're not criminals. We're not laundering money or doing anything else that would be illegal, immoral, or unethical. If an individual Freemason is caught doing something wrong, he should be suspended from the craft and police informed immediately. Maybe I can, but choose not to. Maybe because it's not my place. And maybe because doing so would ruin the experience for other people joining. Where is wonderful? I mean, I might be crazy if you're talking to me, Elaine. Again, dust for the snake. Within Freemasonry, there are many different faiths represented, of many different beliefs. Certainly, some would consider Jesus, especially if you're Christian, obviously, to be a kind of cornerstone, but he is not the right. Others would consider Allah to be the cornerstone, right? There is no single Masonic deity or understanding. And Freemasons are not atheists. Now, again, the term Freemasonry, the term supreme being within Freemasonry can absolutely have very, I'm trying to think of what the word is, can absolutely have very liberal definitions. So, for example, a lot of people might consider myself an atheist. When I talk about my supreme being, it's the rational nature of the universe as expressed through geometry. I think a lot of people might consider that to be atheism, but it's a supreme being for the purposes of Freemasonry. But I would say the majority of Freemasons simply believe whatever their individual, like whatever the majority beliefs within a community are, that will be reflected in Masonic Lodge. So if you live in a town where the majority of the town citizenry is Christian, the majority of the Masonic Lodge in that town will be Christian as well. Nice. Going fishing is awesome. There is no, you can't believe in, because there is no Masonic God, right? Told you what I believe, 187. You can agree with me or disagree with me. I guess you can agree or disagree that what I believe is correct, but you don't get to tell me what I believe. That's not how this works. I get to decide what I believe, and what I'm telling you I believe is the supreme being is the rational nature of the universe as expressed through the geometry and scientific understanding, right? I want to tell you what you believe, 187, so don't tell me what I believe. Again, maybe it's how you define atheism, but to be a Freemason, you usually must believe in some type of supreme being. Now, there is liberal Freemasonry, which is very common in, for example, France, which does allow for kind of avowed atheists to join. I love catfish. No, Bud, the witness, they cannot do that. Ellen, I'm not a 33rd degree Mason, but even if I was, I wouldn't tell you, because part of what makes Freemasonry special is it's a leap of faith. If I start telling people what the initiations are and the secrets are, and confirming or denying secrets, the concern is, what's going to happen is it's not going to be as meaningful for those who join. You need to experience it, not tell somebody else what to expect. Anybody can be gay. You don't have to be a Freemason. But I've been, I've sat with gay Freemasons, straight Freemasons. Freemasonry does not discriminate based on one's sexual orientation. I love tilapia as well. I don't know what you're talking about first person, but You need to calm down a little bit. We can count to 500. We can count to 5 million. I can't count to 20 because I don't have any legs. So I have my 10 fingers, but after that, I have nothing else to count. Um, Devin, you'd have to ask every individual Mason, right? I can tell you why Freemasonry is fulfilling to me, but ultimately that's me and that's my journey. Why is your favorite song your favorite song? Why do you find your favorite song fulfilling? You and I can listen to the exact same song and have completely different reactions to it. You may love it, I may hate it. Why does we find one song fulfilling and another not? It's more about me and my personality, my experiences, my history that draws me to Freemasonry. But for me, it's fulfilling because it allows me, it puts me in a privileged position to try to make the world a better place. Um, well, I have, I guess, two legs. I'm missing my feet and my legs below the knee. So I have two stumps. So I guess I could get to 12 technically. Um, Paper intimate. People are weird. People are really weird. And enjoy your peer. It's going to be awesome. Dust for the Snake, welcome. I hope you guys will take a moment. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Um, Consider doing a super chat, just 99 cents. Um, and help me keep growing the channel. It's been great to see it growing as much as it has so far. I'm grateful to everybody who's helped make it a success. Um, how'd you get around? I have a wheelchair. OMZ, nothing happened to my legs. I never had them. I was born missing my legs. Um, so nothing could happen to them because I never had them. But I get this really cool wheelchair out of it. So I currently have 3,662 subscribers on this channel. I also have my Instagram, my Facebook, my Medium accounts, and my Twitter and Blue Sky, all of which I have additional followers as well. And I have a Twitch and I have a Podbean, which I'm working on growing. Freemasonry is not a cult. I've talked about why it's not a cult. You can see my past episodes. Um, I really don't have legs, Jason. Go back and check out my streams of me doing push-ups. You'll see that I don't have legs because when I do push-ups, I do them just on my hands. So I do not have legs. And by the way, once again, hit that like and subscribe button. I wasn't doing girl push-ups. I was doing them just on my hands. What are you talking about? I don't think you could do them just on your hands, good sir. Um, well, then, Jason, hit the like button and subscribe button if you felt bad. Well, I can promote, it's like a recipe. I can promote the results of a recipe without promoting the recipe itself. So I can tell you, my family has a recipe for cookies. It's the best recipe in the world. Try some. But I'm not going to tell you the recipe for the cookies. And many things work with privacy, if not secrecy, including but not limited to security or safety reasons, creating bonds of brotherhood and bonds between families, um, financial reasons. I'm sorry, guessing 187, you would not give me your social insurance number or your banking account information. Are you keeping that a secret? Are you working with the devil? I'm sure you'll find a reason why it's not the same, but that just is because you are not able to recognize that it is the same. It's not so much, I wouldn't even say it's an open secret, it's just an organization. No different than Oddfellows or anything else. I am not part of the jesters, and I'm not jester maxing. We do not use Ouija boards at Masonic meetings. It's not some occult thing. But Bud, your questions, I'm starting to feel like your questions are just being pulled out of the blue. Um, Freemasonry is not a cult. Um, so very sorry to disappoint you, and we do not use Ouija boards at meetings. I do not know what gesture maxing is. Um, No, I mean, Elaine, I don't know what you're bringing that up for. No, we do not have any of those. We don't have any orgies in a Masonic meeting. That's not what Freemasonry is about. I would not stay in Freemasonry. I would not join Freemasonry if that was what the meetings were. Um, so no, that is not what Freemasonry is about. I mean, that might be what Stanley Kubrick thought Freemasonry was all about when it's 187, when Stanley Kubrick created Eyes Wide Shut. Maybe that's what he thought Freemasonry was all about, but that's because he didn't know what he was talking about. Freemasonry is not like Eyes Wide Shut, I promise you. Um, it's not like that at all. I guess if you choose to believe Stanley Kubrick, then so be it. But there's just as many testimonies that support Freemasonry, so I suppose you can believe whatever you choose to believe, but I would suggest common sense would indicate the testimonies against Freemasonry are baloney. If you're smart enough to, use common sense and recognize an organization could not be engaged in these activities without eventually, the membership winding up in jail. You miseried? I don't know what that means. My name's Cameron. Um, there you go, trying to deceive and read my comment for a split second. I'll let you go speak for you. I don't think I saw your comment, atheists. Oh. So there are no lodges that promote sexual defilement. That's not what Freemasonry is about. It's not about sexual anything, including sexual defilement. Married? No, I'm not married. Jose seems to be a big fan of America and Israel, and I guess Iran. Um, okay, Elaine, you don't have to stick around here. By the way, you're welcome to leave this channel anytime you like. I know I look like Shrek. I've grown to accept it. Please hit like, please hit subscribe in honor of Shrek. Um, you didn't do anything, Jason. I don't think I was talking about you when I brought up the people asking the weird questions. And thank you, Jason, for the thumbs up once again. Well, thank you for liking and subbing. Well, you don't have to stick around here either, we watched. You're welcome to find a different stream. I'm keeping you on, although you're getting close sometimes. What degree am I? I am the highest degree in Freemasonry, and if you know what that is, then we can talk. But I don't think you know what that actually is. Depends who's on the stream, Elaine, and what you mean by fooled. I would suggest Elaine and 187, you have both been fooled by nonsense on social media, which does not accurately portray Freemasonry, as well as perhaps some grifters. I do not know what the 300 Club is. Isn't that with Pat Robertson, the televangelist? You can do it anywhere, but you don't have to do it here. Start your own channel and critique Freemasonry all you want, and ban me from it if you so choose. So, truth, the highest degree is not the 33rd degree. 33rd is an honorific within Scottish Rite. The highest degree in Freemasonry is a 3rd degree Master Mason. Think about it like school. 3rd degree is like grade 12. Scottish Rite is like an after-school program. And 33rd is like getting an honors degree or getting on the honor roll in your school. I don't think Elvis was a Mason. He could have been, but I don't think he was. I've never heard any examples of whether he was or he wasn't. And the G does not stand for Gnosticism. Gnosticism, there are some parallels between Gnosticism and Freemasonry, but Gnosticism is a separate thing from Freemasonry. To my understanding, Gnosticism, the G stands for wisdom, right? Which is from the Greek word gnosis. I don't know what it would mean to have Freemasonry. underground tunnels. I mean, Freemasonry has its buildings, but I don't think I've ever seen a Masonic building that has an underground tunnel. But some of them are very old, so it wouldn't shock me if they have underground storage spaces for like whatever it might be that they need to store, right? And let the conspiracy theories go crazy with it. Um, they'll have like cellars or whatever it might be. But I don't think I've ever been in a Masonic building that had underground tunnels. But it wouldn't shock me if some did. Because again, like some of these buildings date back to 1717, 1800s. Maybe tunnels would be valuable, again, as a place for storage, um, maybe to connect to subways, for example, things like that. Um, So, I mean, Gnosticism is not inherently Masonic, but there are parallels I think you could draw. Having said that, I know little about Gnosticism, so. Um, but I also cannot say that you don't have secrets we watched, or I cannot say that all plumbers do not have secrets, right? That's the point. That's a silly thing to say. Human beings have secrets. There's a valuable, sometimes, reason to maintain secrecy. And I'm not one to judge necessarily what one chooses to keep private about themselves. Now, if it's something criminal or illegal, then the police should be informed and they should go to jail and they should turn themselves in. But people have the right to their privacy and they have the right to maintain elements of themselves exclusively for themselves. Um, Masonry saved, I don't know what that means. It's free to subscribe, Shelby Woods. You just hit the subscribe button. Subscribing on YouTube is completely free. Now, if you want to become a member or join Patreon, that has some financial cost to it, but you do, especially from the Patreon, get a lot of benefits from it, get some special correspondence. You just need to provide me with your mailing address. Um, I do not practice dark psychology nor light psychology. I don't practice any psychology. I mean, I have explored in the past the ways that I think Freemasonry kind of has psychological benefits to it. Um, so there's that, as much as I can, not being an expert. Um, I do not know where Jimmy Hoffa is. Um, we'll see, Jeffrey. You should not jaywalk and you should not loiter, but I'm going to let that go. I appreciate you being here very much nonetheless. I do not know who Black Boule is, so I can't respond to him. We are not advisors to the king or kings or gatekeepers. Um, I love John Cena. Yeah, he's great. He's my favorite professional wrestler, right? The next one. That's in honor of John Cena. Whenever he was asked his favorite match, he would always say the next one. And I really liked that as an answer. I thought it was awesome. Um, Lobotomy once. What's my favorite movie? My favorite movie is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. Today, because it was a beautiful day, it's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. I love it very much. John Cena is incredible. And P2 is not a recognized Masonic lodge. I think he's, like I said, the greatest professional wrestler of all time. I love the Stone Cutter episode. It's one of my favorite episodes. It's one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons. I'm not a big fan of The Simpsons. I don't really like animated shows. But as a Freemason, I love the Stone Cutter episode very much. Yes, Wes Craven was. Now, in fairness, Wes Craven did not direct Part 4 or Part 5. It was Randy Harlan directed Part 4, and Stephen Hopkins directed Part 5. But it was, to his credit, Wes Craven who came up with the concept and also did Scream, which was incredible. I just watched Scream 2. I forgot how good that movie is. Like, genuinely, Scream 2 is a great, great movie. I really forgot how wonderful it is. So I would agree with that. We watched a porn. Darn it, you got me. I would agree with that. We watched. I mean, I don't know if he saved the genre because there's some really cool things during the early 90s that I think gets overlooked because of how popular Scream was. But Scream was an absolutely great film. And it changed the genre. Because it was after Scream, you got your urban legends, your I Know You Did Last Summers, your Valentines. It kind of reinvigorated. It's when Halloween got the shot in the arm with H2O. It kind of reinvigorated the horror genre and put it in a new direction where you started to see theatrical releases, budgets go up, young stars. Um, it was definitely a major turning point for the horror genre. And again, great movie, as was number two. Um, it's We Watched. I said his whole name, which I should not have. I should say We Watched a Corn, but nonetheless, that's the username. He tricked me. Um, it did well. It was a television movie event, right? And so it was a television movie event. It was a great television movie. I think for so many people, that was like their first exposure to horror was watching the It television series, which was a great series. I have a lot of fondness for it. Looking back, Tim Curry was a great clown. I am not drunk. I've never actually had a drink in my life. Surfer JX, but I'm hoping you'll hit the like and subscribe button. Would be much appreciated. Um, So the Knights of Pythias, to my knowledge, is not Masonic. I just had to look it up. According to AI, it was an international non-sectarian fraternal organization founded on um, February 19th, 1864 in Washington, D.C. So it looks like it was not is not Masonic. But it was the first fraternal order chartered by the Act of Congress, so that's really cool. I don't think Stephen King is a Freemason, 187. I'm nearly sure he's not. I mean, if he was, it'd be awesome. I'd be honored because I love his work. Oh, I got to disagree with you on that one, Jason. Shank. Jason Voorhees. I mean, it's hard. I love the Friday the 13th movies. I think they're incredible. Absolutely incredible. But I would not put him ahead of Freddy Krueger or even Michael Myers. Um, maybe maybe you could put him above. Like he definitely is above Hellraiser. He's definitely above Leprechaun and Chucky. But thoughts on Da Vinci Code? Well, I mean, I prefer not the Da Vinci Code. I'll be back in just 1 second. No, I've never had a drink. I prefer. The conspiracy theorists are going to be going crazy. Um, this book here, The Lost Symbol. I think it's a better example of a Masonic book. I like it a lot. Um, we watched, no. I don't think Jason destroys them both. I mean, you could argue maybe he won in Freddy versus Jason, but that ending makes it questionable. I think Jason would win in a fight against Michael Myers, but if I'm judging it based on what is more scary and what movies I enjoy more, or what's been more important to the horror genre, and movie genre in general, you got to put Halloween above, and Michael Myers as a character above anything else. Um, so if anybody is watching you, Kenta, you should inform the police. How's it going, the Batman? Batman was a Freemason, according to the comic books, anyways. I hope you'll take a moment, hit that like button and that subscribe button. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. All the time, I talk about my travels to the States on my Medium page. By the way, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm taking part in Medium's pub crawl, which means I'm not going to be streaming as much on those days. I'm looking forward to the medium pub crawl, though, very much. It's an online event. It's not in person, but it's going to be learning about and talking about medium writers. So the the guy from Psycho, Shaq is a Freemason. 187. You got one correct so far, but Shaquille O'Neal is a Freemason. So at least you got that one correct. The rest you've been struggling with, but you got one. Well, I mean, I traveled to a bunch of them. I've been to Michigan a ton because Windsor is right next to Michigan. I very often visit Chicago and so Illinois because I love Chicago, greatest city in the world. I've been to Florida. I've been to Texas. I've been to California. I've been to Philadelphia. And I'm grateful for all the places I've visited in the States. Um, I'll not deny it if you're correct, 187, but if you're wrong, I'll call it out. No, everyone on television is not a Freemason, despite what the conspiracy theorists and the nonsense people may think. Um, yes, I've been to Indiana a couple times. Really always just passing through, but it was a beautiful state, an incredible Masonic building in Indianapolis. I don't. I usually use public transport, which believe me, in 2026 I'm happy about right now as gas is up 50 cents, but eventually it's going to result in higher bus fares as well. I think David Crockett was a Freemason. I believe you're correct about that, first person. Um, okay. Okay, so I was starting to think Loomis. I couldn't put it together. Um, I don't think Billy Loomis was a Freemason then. I was thinking because there's Dr. Loomis from Halloween, and then there's Loomis from Psycho. I forgot about Billy Loomis. I got a big nose. Please hit like and subscribe. Chronic, please hit like and subscribe. I mean, I wish I'd spent more time in Indianapolis. Having said that, great state, or Indiana, I should say. Um, Great state, great people. I love this. John Wayne was also a Freemason. I love I love the United States. I've said it before. Canada is the greatest country in the world because we have the greatest neighbors in the world. Even though I'm not a big fan necessarily of what's happening politically right now in the States, which it is what it is, I do still love the people. Love my Masonic brothers there. Um, I think Walt Disney was, if I recall correctly. All right, guys, we're going to be ending this stream. I'll be back on tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Oh, we watched. Okay, I'll end with this. I would have raw oysters, a charcuterie board with all different types of meats and cheeses, but especially Mason's cheese, which is a type of cheese with vegetable ash running through it. I would have a antipasto tray with roasted red peppers, pickled, mushrooms in olive oil. I would have a tray of different types of pickles and pickled items, pickles, pickled carrots, pickled okra, pickled garlic, and I would have a giant tray of lobster and shrimp and mussels. And there you go. That would be my last meal. All right, guys, talk to you later. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Oh, and I would have a slice of peach pie with coffee, a slice of blueberry pie with coffee, and to drink for everything else, I would have ginger beer and Coke, both out of a glass bottle. So there you go.